and welcome to the Cowboy for Game Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. I'm your host, Jake. Today, I'm joined by Bragg from Braggio.
Hello.
And Ben from Nolan TCG.
Mastered.
Yes, soon, but first, how was our week in Yu-Gi-Oh? Ben?
I didn't play Master Duel.
Good.
I
Moving
then
on.
logged on to play Rush Duel. Because me and Bragg have started watching the Rush Duel anime from episode 1. Because it's available on YouTube. You should, at home, go and watch... The main characters are so pretentious. It is a tough...
Yeah,
it's a
the
tough
whole
watch.
series is based on him going, no, fuck your game, I've made my own
Yeah.
game. Of course he's pretentious.
Which was great because it came up on the same day as Bragg's Facebook memory of that dude at Locals that apparently he set Manny Debug, got attacked into it, flipped face up, and was like, no, it's not destroyed, it eats your monster first. So it gave mad flashbacks to that. So yeah, we watched that. Then I logged on to play some Rush Duel, had the violent realization that I can only play the deck that I want to play with one character. And I had finished that character, so now I just can't do free play and get gems for it. So I'm like, I just have to play ranked. Which I'm okay with playing ranked, because the deck's like the second best deck in the game.
I don't think there was a game that you could play that wasn't quite so pay to win. You could sort of play at your own pace, play whatever you like, really, online.
I don't want to play whatever. I want to play Seven Roads.
I want phone go this way, not this way.
Yeah, I want
Phone go this way.
Seven Roads.
Why are you even playing it on your phone anyway? Master Duel on phone would have to be the most garbage shit ever.
I exclusively play on my phone.
Yeah, we've been over this. I
Yeah,
only
you play it when you're in hospital, it's fine. But for everybody else,
I don't play Puda.
on.
Jake plays Puda.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer to play on a computer, but
I
then
would love to play
also
on Puda, but Puda went poo.
it's just uncomfortable. I don't have a good computer chair. It's just not a good environment. I'd rather be out
Good
here.
coincidence.
Like
I don't
this.
have a
Yeah,
good
like-
computer.
I get lonely if I sit in my room playing computer.
Yeah.
Sorry, Puda.
I miss Kurt.
Yeah,
He's only down the hall.
even here.
Plus, if he's watching media with any noise, you'll hear him.
But in terms of locals, I went X1 again to continue my streak of not going less than X1 and still not getting prizing. It's been great.
Always.
We're taking
the
home another
bridesmaid.
4th place at locals. Best 4th place player in the world. Garen fucking TL come 4th place. I just want some store credit for Yummy, man.
I mean, going into the Oceanics, a guaranteed 4th place.
No,
I mean, it's not worlds,
not
but
a trip
it's pretty.
worlds,
it's,
exactly.
It's pretty good though. Bragg.
I also went X1.
That's it. No Rush Duel nonsense.
No, I was,
No
more,
Master Duel
I was more
nonsense?
making a joke of that. I just did one and done again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot that you left again.
Got my Rush Duel cards came in the mail.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, I ordered the new support for my Rush Duel deck.
So between testing for upcoming,
Testing for Yummy
yeah,
and testing for Rush Duels.
yeah,
Up-
there's
I
no
put in
time
no time and effort into.
into the current format.
I downloaded YG Omega on my laptop.
Ew.
And then I proceeded to not touch it because I was like, but that'd involve me playing Puda. So
Yeah.
got put away.
Did you also do Rush Duel things?
No, I was going to go into... I'm happy with the deck, though. The deck didn't fail. I didn't even really fail. I mean, my non-commitment to wanting to stay in that room is a failure, I guess. Yeah.
It's just so lovely though without the D&D people around.
Yeah, no, it is much better. I am now tempted to stay in the room for 40 minutes. No longer. Before then, it wasn't, at all an option. Didn't pull an ultimate this week, though, so that's third week bust.
Third week bust. Oh no. Although apparently the newer TS pack is arriving with our
Yes, it is coming soon. I hear.
yes.
I
Coming
wonder what
soon.
could be in it.
If only that was our lead story. But Jake still needs to talk about his week in
Well, I've got
Yu-Gi-Oh.
to talk about my week, and we've got other things to talk about. Many things to talk about. So,
Not much
quickly
time.
on my week.
Like Master Duel.
So Tuesday I didn't do so well. It was a lot of opening hand traps and a lot of not opening anything that actually did anything, which was fun. Today I went X1 versus Fiendsmith. What's the trap deck called again? Odeon? Gravekeeper? What do they call it now?
You said
No,
Odeon.
Odeon. Okay. But what did Konami call it?
Tomb Keeper.
Tomb Keeper. Yeah. Nowhere on any cards is it mentioned a tomb
And
or a keeper
Man with
of
the
a tomb.
mark.
Shizu was also a Tomb Keeper.
But anyway, so yeah, versus that first round.
Tomb Keeper tier.
Won game 1, lost Oh, hang on, no. Wait. No, lost game 1, won games 2 and 3.
Round 1?
Um,
Round 1?
well, I won round 1, but also lost the first game, but won the subsequent 2 other
Oh,
games.
I just remembered how my Tuesday actually went. I lost round 1, then I had to buy and had to sit there for fucking a year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then I
What I want to avoid.
absolutely destroyed Kurt in game 1 of round 3, and then he was like, I don't want to play game 2, and I was like, come on, let's play game 2, and then I destroyed him again, and I felt bad.
Come on, Kurt. It'll be fun.
Didn't feel that bad.
But yeah, so yeah, game 3, Droll and Firewall bounce all copies of Engraver back to hand with nothing else going. That was funny. Game 2 was a Malice Mirror.
I did the same thing with Kurt. I bounced all the fucking Crystron cards from Crave. It was great.
Yeah, game 2 was a Malice Mirror. I lost game 1 because, again, I only drew hand traps. I'm looking back on it now. I'm pretty sure that I activated like both Charmies in the draw phase. He normal summoned the searchy thingy, back up at Ignista, did a search, summoned, and then drolled me. But then he did tactics to rip the only interaction out of my hand. But I did them both in draw phase, so that technically wasn't a legal activation.
Yay.
So, yeah, looking back on it, probably wasn't thinking that much. You just assume that because you've activated a monster effect and because they are now doing tactics, that it's within the right window, but that's not the case.
The tactics is a one-off, so you shouldn't really be factoring it that much into what you do.
I know, but like when it was at 3, even like that interaction came up every so often. Someone would
Yeah.
do a draw face thingy and you're just like, haha, you've turned on my tactics. No.
And they could have thrust.
I had also had it happen before where like my opponent's gone all the way to battle phase and like done something in the battle phase, and then I've interacted with monster effects, and then they've got main phase 2 activate talents, and I've been like,
Also,
how that works.
The fact that we're talking about talents as Kurt's walked into the kitchen is quite funny. I just looked over and he just looks so despondent.
It's because
Your triple tactics talents doesn't stand a chance against Warrock.
yeah,
because none of their effects activate because they're garbage. Yeah, and then I think the game 3 on today. No, I don't think the game 3 on today. The game 3 on today was Dark World. I did a lot of banishing stuff. He's one of the newer guys.
Hanlu?
I mean, I'm sure he was gonna try. He didn't get there, but I'm sure it was there. He summoned the big fusion that like blows up the board.
blows up the board.
Yeah. They got a fusion. I can't remember where. That on summon blows up the board and then gains attack equal to the material that it used.
I didn't know this card exists. I would have just assumed he would have been going for the negation.
Well, he had the negation. I negated the negation. He attempted to dodge the negation by fusing the negator into another negator, but the negator needed something else to fuse into. Plus, I did an SP thing. So he's-
Close to so many dollars there.
Ma negator.
But his only legal target after that was the big blowy uppy board guy. And I had a Jewel's Worm on field, so I didn't care.
Okay.
Cool. But yeah, that was a fun duel, a little bit of back and forth. He had made, like, he said he didn't have any sides when we'd like sat down to do our matchup. But then in his main deck, in the first game, he flips up Soul Drain in the start of the game. I was like, that feels like it's...
Feels targeted.
Yeah, very targeted. And I was looking at the Druid's Worm and the March Hare in my hand. I was like,
Soul Drain his hand?
That is Grave and Banished. Mind Drain his hand.
Yeah, but you could still summon the March Hare and...
Yeah, but then I don't get the trigger of the thing that it banished. I mean, you say that, but it's like 90% of what Malice do is activating stuff that is banished.
You go... I don't know, you fucking do something.
It didn't matter. I SP'd it away.
Exactly. You do that.
Yeah, I did that. I'm just saying. As a immediate interaction of like Soul Drain draw phase, I was like, oh, this is tricky.
Got to play around Malice somehow.
And then, just quickly as both my wrap-up of my week in Yu-Gi-Oh! And the Master Duel update for the moment, the Friday to Sunday last week at time of listening, was the stage 2 of the regional qualifiers. I started with good intentions of Unchained Fiendsmith playing a proper deck, but I got so many draw cards dropped on me immediately, and it became very unfun to play. So I moved over to Horus Stun.
It's like all Master Duel.
And I just decided I'm going to lock you out of the game.
I feel like Master Duel will be really fun with 6 small Charmies and 2 Maxi.
Fun? No, not fun.
He said it fun. He
He
said
said
it.
fun first.
Yep.
I did say it with like parentheses.
No, he said it like fun.
Yep, that's how you explain fun. Fun.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, moved over to Horus Sun, played as many floodgates as I can whack in the deck, and said, yeah, fuck you, Blue Eyes and Branded and Fiendsmith and Kashtira.
Why no Crystron?
There's not that many Crystron gamers
doesn't
in there
matter.
at the moment, even though it's
Because the deck takes too long.
And it's too expensive.
Yeah,
yeah, there are a lot
probably
of
that.
ultras. Yeah. But we move on to some news for the week. So we start with something that we kind of forgot about last week, which is, I guess, to our
Which
benefit
didn't-
now.
Didn't matter.
So last week, at about the time that we recorded the podcast, it was announced that they were going to be changing the rules of Time Wizard to be in line with updated card texts and problem-solving card text and triggers and things.
And game board and rulings.
No, not game board and draws. Those were the things that were remaining. So you kept the draw for,
Mechanics.
yeah, you kept the draw for turn and game board and stuff like that, but everything else changes.
So yeah, basically completely
It's completely irrelevant
changing
now.
the scape of the game. Many players were outraged. The vomiting horse meme returned with Judgment Dragon and Sinister
Yeah.
Serpent in its place.
Think of all the forests that burned for those memes.
Yeah.
Are we printing them now?
The
No,
Goyo one- the
the
Goyo
AI
cleaning-
generated.
The Goyo cleaning up the
Yeah, that was quite funny.
yes,
Um,
that was a good one.
But yeah, post this outrage and internet stuff, I was trying to think of a word, couldn't think of it. They've decided to backtrack on that and basically now splitting it up into effectively 2 different versions that they can do.
So we
Yeah.
now have 2 formats. So
Yes.
it is exclusively just Goat, Edison, and Hat are the only 3 formats that will remain in the North American region as Time Wizard events.
Mhm.
Time Wizard events are as they were. Then instead that'll be replaced by time. What is it? Time trial events or
No, it's
time
whatever they,
travel.
time travel events will
Which is-
replace everything.
which is
else.
what they call them in
Rating.
Master Duel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll do like time travel, the Dragon Rulers, at which point will be fucked because then you're playing Dragon Rulers without the draw on the first turn.
Yeah.
Yay. Actually, none of that makes it better. No, that makes it so much worse. It's making 1,000 Blades or fucking Master of Blades or whatever. It's getting clapped.
Dragon was like the last deck before that change, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. It started 2014.
Yeah.
It didn't. It came out with Pendulum. That was when the change was in the draw, the first turn.
Yeah, still bewilders me that they decided to change this so drastically with seemingly no other reason than they just didn't want to have to train multiple judges
Yes.
on multiple different rulings
That
of
is the
multiple different
reason.
formats.
But instead, now that
Most judges are old enough that they know these rulings because they.
Well, it actually mattered at like YCS Sydney this year. There was only one judge that like fully in and out knew Edison. There were other judges that had a pretty good idea. There was only one judge that like, yeah, I know everything. And apparently it had been a thing at other major events that they just didn't have a judge that knew everything inside and out. But yeah.
It seems more like a training issue than a format issue.
Well, that's the thing. They don't have to train it. They don't have to train for past formats. It's
mean,
not the
Well, they've
purpose of it.
integrated this, like, they've had Time Wizard now for, what, 2 years, 3 years? More?
Yeah, but it's like it also boomed in popularity when they weren't expecting it. Like it's not like they were like, "Quick, we need to reinstate this judge program for some broken fucking rulings." Because like, as much as I didn't like the fact that they changed it, I still think that Prio is fucking stupid.
Mhm.
Like I didn't care in the fact when they changed it. I was like, yeah, it sucks that like the erratas were all I cared about.
Yes.
The actual rulings I didn't care about.
Prio is here and all that. I know it's a bit hard to swallow though, because the people that are in charge of Konami's Yu-Gi-Oh! Wing are all seemingly the same people from 15 years ago.
Yeah, you
They were
you out
there.
here telling me Jerome didn't play in that format?
Yeah, and there was definitely a bit of. There was a reply from a certain higher up member, which Jake knows because as soon as I saw it, I screen capped it and whinged about him, which I consistently. That just even asking in the official judge forum, not the good Facebook group, the other one, of hey, what's the best way to contact and get through the system to sort this out because this is a stupid ruling. And the official, the higher up has gone, this isn't a place for commentary. But commentary wasn't suggested in this post. So when we're dealing with people like that, I do genuinely question the skills, both customer service wise and just, game development wise of the team. Because this makes a shitload of money. You have all the old documents of rulings, whack something together, fucking use AI at this point.
It also is a sense of like they've kind of hit the point where they're like, oh, we did all the reprints, we sold the Edison stuff,
But they haven't done
change
all the
rules.
reprints. They haven't done all the reprints. They
Well,
did
I don't know.
some of the reprints.
Like, it did definitely hurt for me to be like, I was holding on to my ulti Goyo. Now what?
First or not?
I have first at ulti Goyo. However, didn't matter for EU because EU Konami came out and said, yeah, we have no plans to change in any way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's at least that.
One of the few times we're being included in the EU part of Konami's thingy was probably relevant for us.
Speaking of times that we were pushed to being irrelevant in the eyes of Konami. Clicking.
Find it.
Clicking.
Maybe it was earlier. Was
Nope.
it earlier? Nope, there it is.
Here we are.
So,
We have a new update.
quick update on the Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem delay. We now have a release date of the 28th of August. This is bullshit, and I hate it. Like,
I don't care.
look, for the most part, it is somewhat irrelevant because none of the decks in here are like game warping. If this had happened or did happen to Justice Hunters or whatever the yummy archetype is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. If it was happening to Justice Hunters, it would be a massive issue.
Oh yeah, because it's like
It
three
would
meta decks.
completely warp the format.
It's also completely different in the sense of like we're receiving these decks into a fairly stable format. Like we have effectively the TCG exclusive that's propping up the format, which is actually quite interesting to realize that like fucking that shitty ritual deck, which
Yes, a ritual deck of reptiles.
that's a
is
TCG exclusive,
part of the
is two of
upper
the three
echelons.
best decks.
Yeah. yeah.
Like if we had that format where we didn't have that ritual deck and we didn't have Malice, if Malice was hit a little harder, then this would hurt really badly. Where like we'd be coming into WCQs, we wouldn't
With a
have
stale
August,
format.
which would be the best deck. Instead, here we are.
Yeah. Look, I'm sad
Um,
because I want my boys, but
There were definitely North American tops this weekend of August. Well, it was August something. It top aided.
there's a few different variations. I think the one that people have been hyping up the most is Orcus Mitsurugi.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, it does.
Yeah. That's why I was asking if the ritual spell is still expensive. Quick peek behind the curtain. Yes, it is. So I shan't be playing it until
Not that
post
bad.
tins. It's more than I want to spend on rituals, though.
Post tins?
Well,
You still got the
they
other
get
ritual?
oh wait, no, they
They
won't get
came out in the last two sets. They ain't getting reprinted.
Fuck
I
me
mean,
then.
you only run one of the ritual, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not going to be relevant until
Yeah.
at least August 29.
On
But
August
also
29, you
like,
can use-
Correction. August 28.
Yeah. Well, 28th
I'd
of
need
August.
to put the deck together.
Correction.
Plus, we're
the
not playing on
2nd
that
of September.
Do
Next
you
question.
Remember?
Question. We're not up to questions
yeah, we
yet.
are. Done. No news.
Yeah, don't worry
Questions?
about any of these new archetypes, or support for
I'll-
archetypes, I should say,
We're
because
starting
we
with
have
this?
Bitch, if you want to run it, you're welcome to. In the meantime, shut the fuck up.
We're
So,
bringing back the
we
notes.
have
Without
a...
having Master Duel news, you lose all your flow.
Bitch, you're the one interrupting the flow.
interrupting.
We got
the rhythm.
sulfur cord cards.
Yeah, which
We have a slew of new
Are they-
support from DOOD.
Yeah.
Thank you. Not just sulfur cord.
but out of all of them,
Dodd.
we're not going
No,
to talk about
it's
sulfur
dude.
cord, are we?
Double
not-
O
that's
makes an
dude.
U node.
That's dude. That's
There's
dude.
no
It's
U.
dude. That's not how that
Also,
works. That's
dude
not
is
how
still
English
Devastator.
works.
Yeah, they both
Dude
can be.
is already a set.
Yeah, we got 2 dudes.
You got a problem with 2 dudes?
I do when there's 8 years between them.
Depends on how old. Anyway, sulfur cord is the first one that we're going to be talking about very quickly because I haven't read them enough to know what they do. They seem okay, but it's sulfur cord, so it doesn't really matter. But basically 2 new pendulums, 1 odd scale, 1, I guess, technically even scale. It's scale
One
0.
Upskirt short for some reason.
What do you mean for some reason? It's always women card. Feet or skirt. That's it. Only twinks get to see abs.
We got Skull Combat Joker.
Speaking of twink abs.
Megalith? The statues?
No, isn't there 1 twink abs?
Oh, probably somewhere, but I'm not.
You got to pre-think of
I'm
your transitions.
not
Jake.
rouletting your fucking transitions like this. They're in order for a reason. Fuck you. We have rocks. So we've got another little ritual, another big ritual, and a continuous spell. The continuous spell is really good. What?
Football.
Oh, okay.
The game got abandoned. Is that what you're laughing at?
We ever have a lightning delay in Yu-Gi-Oh? Yeah.
Wait, if my opponent activates Lightning Storm, can I go to the bathroom for a lightning delay?
Odeon didn't wait for a lightning delay.
So the little one adds back from grave, and then it has the same effect of
Add the
full
Megalith card on summon.
from graveyard.
This card is ritual summoned. Adds from grave.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It
Well-
adds back the one that it was used
Yes.
for the ritual spell.
Yes.
But then it's also full in that it can ritual off turn.
No, it's full lock. Please note, its name is Megalith Full plus Megalith Ock.
If
It's
that's
full lock.
that's even how it's going to be translated. It
We'll
will
find
be.
out. Then the big one is
Ula.
reveal it in hand, and your opponent can't
Ula.
activate cards in response to your Megalith ritual monsters for the rest of the turn. You get to play for free.
Atron spelt backwards with full shoved in the
Yeah,
middle.
I hate these adjoiners.
Okay.
And then the
Pretty good
continuous spell, discard a card at a level 4 and level 8 Megalith monster from your deck to your hand.
I hate it.
Why do you hate
It
it?
means
don't hate
resurrection, especially of
yeah.
Jesus.
And then if you ritual summon, you can draw 2 and then discard 1 or tribute a monster your opponent controls.
What's some stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh?
There's just religion stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Anastasia.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
I think of Russians.
So much of the time. Moving on to the next one.
This is what we
this
should have led
is-
with.
MST.
This is actually the best news of the week.
MST.
This deck's actually pretty good.
Managata.
So, yeah. This
I'm
is
really excited for
answering
this.
the question that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players have been plagued with for so many years. What if MST negates? I hate this pun, by the way. It's so overdone.
Pun? Joke.
Well,
it's just a joke.
I hate the joke. It's
I
painfully unfunny.
actually really like this.
I like the deck as a concept, but like,
I want to play this deck.
just like
I
the.
want this.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Wait.
yes, we wait. I'm not asking for the page to respond. But anyway, so yeah, we've got an MST archetype.
Are we still recording audio? Can we just quickly confirm that?
I think it was only the web page.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, it was just the
Cool.
web page. So we've got a bunch of monsters. They're all different types, but they're all wind attribute. I think it does lock you into wind in some respects, so it's not super splashable. I said wait.
Just ignore it.
I'm trying. So yeah, basically it revolves around having MST.
They got a lot more monsters than I thought they did.
Yeah, quite a lot of
10
monsters.
cards. That's it's almost law
Like
levels of
the
cards.
thing-
Maybe.
I didn't
Maybe.
super read in depth with all of them, but seemingly they just need and revolve around adding back a quick play spells, correct?
Yes, that is true.
So it doesn't at some point say you can only activate these types of quick play spells.
Yeah, it just likes them being
Sweet.
around.
I think this deck can be very good though.
Yeah,
Like, if you can add back fucking from grave droplets every turn.
it does. It recycles. I
Yeah,
can't remember
like,
which of the
I know
cards
that.
does.
That's why I'm like, if it does, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. I can't remember which one does it. I think it's this one. No. There's one of them that recycles.
I thought it was was it the trap?
I thought it was the trap, but I didn't read it on the trap. Once per
Target
turn.
3 quick play, shuffle them back in the deck. Yeah.
Oh, it is
including,
that.
it has to include a Magnifistorm card, but big whoop. All of them search, so like, why would you not have?
Yeah,
multiple?
and they've already got 3 quick play spells of their own, so yeah, it's not going to be hard to find that number of targets.
I really like this deck.
Yeah, it's quite good. And all, yeah, it looks fun, but yeah, I just don't appreciate the joke. Like, it was funny for maybe the first 30 seconds.
Look, given how much MST had fallen out of the game, I actually really appreciate them doing it. So, like, bring MST back and be like, no, pay attention to this quick play removal. Like, this is a good card. Also, I can play my Ghost Rays.
In 10 years' time, do we get Cosmic Cyclones better and Cosmic Cyclones?
No, we get Twin Twister support first.
Ah, yes, of course.
Yep.
What about, no, I can't remember.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on. We also have Gookie getting
Another
support.
thing that's really fucking good. Wait, was that the Iron Sheik at the top?
Oh,
Is that Sheiky Baby? It's not. But why did they choose that guy? That's not Sheiky Baby.
Anyway, so Goki got some support. Does have borderline crossovers with a couple of other archetypes, primarily from the fusion.
The fusion is shit. The rest of it is quite good. The quick play,
we get a synchro.
continuous spell is the thing that mixes them all together. But the main deck monster is fantastic. Like, reveal itself and another to special summon both of them. The Link 2 also special summons 2. Both of them have the condition of whatever you special can only be used for a Goki. Doesn't matter. The deck V-links.
Oh, it does a V-link.
So you can V-link with the Goki that points down, Singularity Dragon, and then you make another Goki link on the other side. So you have an active Singularity Dragon into a V-link, and then you can also, next to the Singularity Dragon, make IP with an extra monster going to SP.
Great.
Yay! This is all off 2 cards.
It's the original Sheik, by the way.
It's new Goki, and it's the original Sheik?
Which I didn't realize that the Goki's called Sheik. Yeah, that's sick.
Oh, it's the Sheiky Baby Ogre.
Yeah.
That's sick. I like that reference.
So yeah, just for reference, this won't get played, right?
No, you do actually play
You do play that.
Yeah, you don't play the fusion.
No.
The synchro specifically adds you the spell, I believe. So
Yes.
you use it to add the continuous spell, and then at the end of your combo, you add rematch off one of the old Gokis, and then off you.
Mash and soup.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's not Gumblar looping my hand, it's probably fine.
Now you just get V-linked.
So
it's time to close the.
yeah, probably. So it's bugging me. Goodbye, sulfur cord.
But next
If I
off,
knew
we
that
have
Boomer
the.
closed it, I wouldn't
I've been
have said
alluding to
anything.
this the whole time about a lot of Jesus-related things in Faith.
Yes.
So we have the archetypes announced for the Phantom Revengers.
Turns out the Phantom Revengers was the Bible.
Anyway, so the first one is Hecatonchery, a faceless fusion monster whose invisible hands promise your opponent salvation.
See?
Mhm.
Jesus thing number 1.
So this one is, well, what's its actual
It's
name?
Greek mythology.
Yeah.
This one.
I thought I had a name for it. Oh, there. Hecatonchery Jowza.
Yeah.
Then we've got Enacraft, a flip monster theme deployed to ascertain the sins of man.
2 Jesus themes. Also, it looks like they're coming out of the ocean.
And then
Yeah, a little bit. Well, it's
Oh,
kind of
they've got the F's in them. They're more Greek stuff.
the other one now.
We've
looks
got,
cool though.
the
Looks
Greek
like another
F.
reuse.
Gargama. Okay.
This will probably be the worst because it said flip. And then we've got twin caps.
Which
the
is
third thing in the Bible.
yeah.
So, Killer Tune, a synchro tuner to make some killer noise on the floor with its wild scratches.
Wicka, wicka, wicka,
Goes
wild,
joining
wild
me in the
west.
dance off screen. He won't admit it.
So yeah, the name of the flip art that we got. Actually, I don't know how to say that, so I'm moving on. And then,
Yeah, it's not easy to say.
Killer Tune Red Seal is the name of the featured monster. So seemingly these are going to be the bosses.
I definitely thought that said Enema Craft for a second there. I was like,
They're going where now?
Anima of the soul.
So yeah, these are seemingly going to be the boss monsters as they have been in the last ones.
I'm just going to call it Enema Craft from now on.
Mhm.
But yeah, no TCG, but it took us ages to get Yummy released, so it wouldn't surprise me.
December.
This will be our December set. Yeah.
Now, speaking of announcements, we have the announcement of the ban list for the OCG. So this is going to be coming out
Next Sunday night
yep.
at 10 p.m. for us, 11 p.m. for us.
Yeah, so
It
you'll
will
get
not be
news
on next
about
week's
it the
podcast.
week after. It'll be interesting to see how they actually address what's going on in the OCG, because some archetypes have really come out of the gates.
Yeah, it's gonna probably have to see a canine hit.
I think so.
I think canine's gonna get hit the worst out of everything. I'm curious as to what the yummy hit's gonna be. Very curious what that'll be. Whether or not it's like link to 1 or link to 2 if you're trying to baby hit it. Link to 1 if you're gonna hit it. Maybe cup seeded 2. Link to 2, cup seeded 2. There's my theory. Take it and leave it.
I got nothing. I mean, it's only seemingly canine. Everything else is equal representation of the rest of the format. Like, it's just good decks. It's not overpowered, right?
Yeah, it's more just canine gets splashed and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Canine's like the only one's like, oh, yeah, this hits the
Also-
parameters to hit it.
You also run the issue of like if you hit canine and you hit yummy, Dragon Tail just goes back to being the best deck.
Yes.
Because it was the best deck, then everyone was like, this other stuff is more unfair, and now everyone's gone back to. We'll just go back to playing Dragon Tail.
Dragoon be doing things. We already did that because you made me. We've got
Yay.
some
To the TCG.
product for the TCG announced for the upcoming release of Duelist Advance.
What's the promo again?
The promo
Melodus
is
the Pure.
Oh, yeah, the
Medius
new
the
law,
Pure.
which I've completely forgotten about the new law.
yeah, new law time.
Yeah, so I haven't seen it profiled much in the OCG, so this didn't
No,
make a
'cause I think
splash there at all, did it?
Do you reckon he gets mixed in with the MST people somehow?
It's similar, isn't it?
Maybe.
What is his? Maybe
Oh, yeah,
he's
that'll be
Twin
the enemy
Twisters.
because MST pops into mini. Well, it doesn't really. It saves itself, but it's not him.
Yes.
Yeah, you could. I mean, there's no direct connection for them at the moment, and usually, like, given that this guy seems to be the Albaz of the archetype, because he's not named within the archetype per se, like he's not named the archetype,
It's 'cause
but
he's
he's
pure.
named
He's a
within
good boy.
the text of the other ones that he's the Albaz, but none of the MST people mention him in the text.
Yeah, but Goblin
Huh.
Bikers don't. I'm thinking
It's
the new
in the
MST.
art.
Yeah, I think MST is just Goblin Biker.
Look into the Goblin Biker art.
What a weird statement.
You'll find
I
MST.
think MST is Goblin Bikers. But anyway, the feature monster is the new Utopia. There's a lot.
Shocking. The pack art is the play map.
Yeah.
Is there any Utopia fans out there? Once again, that's my question for the week.
I mean,
There is.
Yeah, question of the week last week remains unanswered, I believe. I can't remember what the question
I mean,
was, though.
do I look for the answers? No.
Just putting questions out into the ethos.
That's generally what I do.
The ethos.
And then lastly, we finally had the announcement of the Makanko support. One of them is an illusion, maybe two of them.
The
What's
purple
this
one that's
one?
in the background of
Fairy.
the other art.
It's like,
Who knew she was an illusion the whole time? This card's good though.
both of them are actually quite
Yeah.
good. The
These are-
XCs being able to just be game by itself is fucked.
Oh, will it be played? No. And I like limiting it to 2 Makankos is fair enough.
I just don't like Makanko when it's in the format that you've got to be like, do I even bother playing?
Yeah.
Like, do I just pass?
And the old art for who? Hopefully Hare gets a.
I mean, potentially, because they did announce I didn't have it in the things here because it seemed mostly irrelevant, but they did put out an alt art for Dark Magic Circle.
The XCs is just 2 Makankos, yeah? It's not 2 monsters including Makanko.
2
Yeah,
level 3
two,
Makanko
yeah,
monsters.
That's cool. So you can't, like, use Ken in a fucking Makanko.
Yeah.
That would
Thankfully not.
fucked. Yeah, Ken Gen fucking...
Although you can just bounce the Ken that you summoned with the one that summons from deck, and then you've got it anyway. Gross. I hate this archetype so much.
Just can't. How dare you.
It's not.
I don't
It's
still
not-
like the playstyle.
Yeah, the playstyle is actually atrocious.
I mean, I've always preferred as an engine to then use it as thing spam. So I'm here nor there. And then you can just get a cheeky win con. That's how I've always approached Makanko. I'm not like all other Makanko duelists.
I'm not like other girls.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we move on to questions. If you weren't aware, we do have a Discord. Link is in the description below. Feel free to jump in, say hi, and ask us questions. Our first question this week, when my phone decides to stop being a bitch, is our only question, in fact, from 6R6.
Yep.
Whose decision / fault do you think it was to ruin Time Wizard? I suppose we've kind of already gone over this.
Jerome.
I mean, yeah.
Very clearly.
No, I think it's the incompetence of the staff, as I illustrated earlier.
Bragg thinks it's that person.
Well, look, it could, like, looking at it, it could be a thing of, like, people have complained at the events that...
It's going to be like those fucking
rulings
Yankee
were done
judges.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
I'm thinking it was like they've gotten a bunch of complaints. They've sat down and gone, okay, we can either teach billions of people rulings, which we teach them, or they don't even teach them. Like, rulings are set based on the current format, which they still fuck up. Hence, we got the meltdown fucking YCS. Or we just change the format to make it easier for our judges.
So something you've also got to remember is Edison was 14 years ago.
Yes.
That 10-year-old kid at your locals who was screeching about how this is how the card should work is now 24.
He's still screeching though, isn't he?
Yeah, but he now probably has a competent enough argument and sounds reasonable enough so that at a YCS he can convince himself that, no, this is the way it was. So therefore your judge ruling is wrong. 15 years ago it worked this way.
So it's not Jerome and the judges we need to blame. It's the screeching 24-year-old.
Yes.
I'm not going to say this story on the pod.
But yeah, that does unfortunately conclude our questions and our podcast this week. Thank you all very much for listening and watching. I guess just quickly before I go to the standard end bit, hopefully we'll have news at some point as to where we plan to do the podcast. But I did put up a poll. If you are going to be at Oceanics, let us know.
We might poolside podcast if it's the same building again.
Yeah. But yeah, if you are watching, feel free to like and subscribe. If you're listening, feel free to favorite, jump into our Discord, ask us some questions, and we'll catch you all next week. Peace.
Goodbye.